Hi everybody, so it's Phil here. I'm just going to go through a quick introduction on how to play WGT golf for people who are just starting out, because it took me a little while to get used to this game. There's a few little tweaks and twists that I can give you, a little few hints and tips. So I'm just going to run through a quick 9 holes. It doesn't take very long, and I'm just going to enter a tournament, just a basic tournament, so I'll show you how it's done. So let's get this started then. So first off, I've chosen a tournament, and one thing I do all the time is obviously choose your wind very carefully, but then I'll also start to hit my shots, and I'll start to count down to 6, and I'll explain that more as I go through this. But from the full swing, I'll count from 1 to 6, and that will help me get my timing a lot better. So as you can see here, I've got wind ahead of me, and I'll just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I hit it on 6. As a starter, that time bar goes very, very quickly. And also, let's be honest, the worse the clubs when you first start, the harder it is. On this particular shot here, I'm actually going to push it back a few yards. I'm also going to put some backspin on the ball, but with my ball and my clubs, in all fairness, it's a little bit crap, so I don't get any spin. But push it back a little bit to allow for the wind. Choose your clubs carefully, and then again, count to 6 if you're going to full swing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Obviously your own timings will get better than this as you get a little bit better with it, but the important part is to get the consistency, and the consistency of hitting fairways and greens is key. Putting, however, is completely different. You still require the timing, but as you can see, I've got putt that's moving left and right, a bit of both ways. I think it's going to move a little bit further left to right than I expect. But also I want to take note of the how high it goes and how far it goes. So at 34, I need to take off 1.8, and that'll give my measurement. Now also you'll see that the greens are very, very fast. So I've worked this out that I'm going to hit this about 31, maybe 32. As you can see there, I'm working out each marker there across the bottom is 10%, so it's 6. Now, I haven't actually hit that very cleanly at the middle, but it's going to be an easy par putt. That's the important part for this. How easy can you make your par putts? With my par putts that are close, you'll see I have a bit of a simple theory. Hit it. Hit it at the hole and let it drop. Don't try and hit it perfect weight. Always hit it past, making sure it hits the back of the cup. Anyone that plays golf in real life will realise, hit it at the back of the cup, let it drop in. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and away we go. All about hitting as close to that middle line as you can. The better the balls, the better the clubs, the better you get, but more importantly, the better the clubs and the better the balls, the slower that meter will start to come down, and therefore it's a lot easier to hit that perfect ding every single time. This one particular, so let's go. So we've got 120 in, plus 3, ignore that. 120 plus in, and I know that that's pretty much a full shot. I expected the wind to move that a little bit more than it did, but it didn't. So we got to live with that, haven't we? We've got to have a bit of fun with it. It is golf after all. It's not a game of perfect, so it's all about a game of consistency and averages. This one is going to move a little bit right to left at the start, a little bit left to right at the bottom. I noticed 616 minus 6. So that if I work off that, that's about 10. And also I've got a green speed of 10. So that means I need to hit it slightly lower. So I've gone 3, 6, 9 and a bit. And then try and hit it as close to that middle line as you can. As is, I've seen some WGT golf videos which are quite complex in regards to calculate the putting and how to read it. In all fairness, it's a little bit like reading a normal green in my opinion. It's just about guessing, and the better you play, the more you play, the better you'll guess. Pretty straight drive, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and away you go. I notice when I don't do the timing, I notice it goes very, very wrong. So I think it's key to have something all the time that you do constantly, which makes a difference. 150 in, piece of cake. 13 miles to the wind to the right, 150 in. Now I've got 157. I know that 10% of that's 15, so I'll take a little bit off that. And it should just catch the front of the green. There we go. And trickle up nicely. Now, if only my putting was slightly better, but again, I have experience with putters that you buy, and again, it comes down to cost. The more money you spend on putters, the better they get, the more accurate they get, and the slower that the meter runs down, therefore allowing you to get a lot closer to that middle point of being perfect every single time. So from here, I think that's probably going to go about 10, because again, they're fast greens, and I've just misread that one. Oh, bloody hell, what a shame. But I've got a par putt of 2.5 foot. Again, go back to my previous thought. Move it slightly out the centre of the cup, because I know there's a slight gradient from the balls, and hit it. I've hit that about 6 feet on the meter, but I've only got a 2.5 foot putt. So the reason for that is because I want it to hit. I don't want the break to take too much out of it. Now this is a fun one. We've got a strong wind left to right, and I know that my driver will have to be really accurate to catch that middle bit. So I know my 3 wood's going to go 222. It says on the bottom. They also give you the landing zone as well, which is brilliant in this app. They'll tell you where it lands to. So therefore you're allowed to identify how far you should hit it, and if you've got any obstacles to hit over. So thank you very much. Good ball. Happy days. 115 up. Half of 15 is 7.5. So I need to add 7.5 to 112. So that's going to take me up to 119. So call that 120. I've got an 8 iron that goes 127. Half of 12 is going to be 6. So I'm going to be looking to that now with a bit of backspin to go just over the halfway mark, because a 12 is 6, and hopefully that should end up all right. Brilliant. Bit far, not perfect. Probably gonna leave myself an interesting, yeah, it's an interesting putt, all right. So, okay, so let's have a bit of fun with this one. So we know it's gonna go over that mound. Now it's gonna give you an indication of the dip that it is 2.1. I know that's not true, because I know it needs to go over. So I know, let's have a look now. So we need to get that to about 20. And then it's going to start to fall off. So I've got 33 in total. So there's no point me going into the 60-foot range, because I'm never going to hit it that hard. Let's go to the 30-foot range. I need 15, 18, 21, 24. It's going to come up 20 and then down a bit. So let's go to there, and then let's see how that works out. Coming down the hill, and I'm all right with that. I know it might have ran a little bit past, but I'm okay with that. Uphill putt. As you can see, that's not really going to move much now. Yeah, it's hardly any movement on that. 4.8 plus 1.8 is 5.7. We'll go a bit past that, and we'll hit it in the back of the hole. I see too many players when playing on one-on-ones where they leave them short, especially on their short putts, or there's too much break. The best way to take the break out of it is hit it at the back of the hole. So just allow a little bit of movement on the putts and just hit it straight at the back of the hole.
Solid shot.
If it misses, it misses. But I'd rather hit it and it miss than hit it short. Right, so this one I've got 222. My landing zone is 210. Bit of backspin. And I know the wind's going to affect it. It's going to come across it. So it's going to be landing at 210. I need to go a little, so that's halfway there. So 22 minus half is there, so half is 210. A little bit higher. That looks to be working out just all right. I've got that thunder beat in the background, which tells me that from a 3-wood from 220 yards, yeah, good shot. Happy with that. Let's see if we can get the birdie. As I say, drive for show, put for dough. So, yeah, so that's gonna, I've got quite a bit of movement. It's downhill. So I've got 7.6 minus 2 is 5.6. That's the 6 mark. It's gonna swing and a little bit of space. Just do it there. I'll probably push that a bit. Oh, I didn't hit it. I didn't hit it. Oh, what a plonker. Never up, never in. Okay, so next one. Still a par, so I'm all right, I'm still in the hunt. 167, good choice of clubs. Bit of backspin, happy days. Wind's going to push it left to right. I'm going to take a bit off it because I've got 165 and the wind's coming from behind me. Again, don't forget to count. It's important. I do it every single time. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and hit it on that number. You choose your own numbers, but however you want to count it, that's fine. And again, another guesstimate here. You can use green view, which is always quite nice. It's quite nice to use. Shows you the rolls of the balls and which way they're obviously going to move along the green. But so here we've got 20. Let's call it 20 because you've got 0.9 and 7. So and I've gone 15, 18. I've gone just over that. And what a rubbish putt.
Never up, never in.
Awful. Absolutely awful. But as with all these things, small, right to left, just outside the hole. I've hit it way harder than I needed to hit it.
Good read.
Because I want to take the break out of it. I don't want to limp those putts in. That's the key to this. Don't limp in the putts. Now my landing zone is 220. I'm going to hit it 247. I know in my landing zone at 220, I can drive over that. The wind's going to move that right to left, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, done. Safely on to the fairway. It's all about fairways and greens, let's be honest. If you hit the fairway, you hit the greens, you're going to make in pars, you're going to make in birdies. As soon as you start to go off either of those two, it's difficult. I've gone for a bit of topspin, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Whack. That's a long old par 4. That's a drive for 3 wood into breeze. That's a long par 4. But it's all about these next shots. So I'm going to try something a bit different here. I'm going to punch it. I'm going to punch it, keep it just below the wind. It's not a massive amount of wind, but just below the wind. 42. I've got to go 39 plus 3.5. So I've got to go 42. So let's see how that looks, because it will just run out a little bit. Yeah, not the best. It's close enough. It's close enough. It's close enough to make par. That's the important question. And this all comes down to practice now. The more you practice, the more you read the greens, the better you get. But if you can get the weight right, and the weight's the key, from a long putt, then you're laughing. So 14 up 6 is 20. So I've got that 15. There's 18, there's 21. So I know it's going to go 21, but fast green again, 10 speed on the stick. I pushed it a touch, but that's worked out just about right, hasn't it? So happy days. Still in the par hunt, still in the par hunt. It's all about pars, all about pars. Anyone that reads any golf books, anyone that plays will know it's all about percentages. Right, 180 in. It's going to go down 4.5, not 9. It's only the 4.5 you count. It's half of that. So that means it's going to go 170, 176. And I pulled that a touch.
Solid shot.
And this is where chipping. Now, my advice is I never use the chip. I always use the pitch. The pitch runs out well, the pitch gets off the ground, the chip is a bit of a drip, in all fairness. It just kind of limps out of the rough and it doesn't really do anything. I absolutely hate it. Now this one is about practice. It's about understanding how far the ball rolls. It's understanding how far it goes in the air. And it's a bit of a guesstimate, to be honest. But if you've got 17 yards to go, I know that I've got 2, so it's 20, 18. I've got just on 17. It's going up 11 inches. And that should just let itself run out. Worked out all right, didn't it, that one, to be honest? I'm a bit surprised at myself. Okay, you've heard this before. Back of the hole, give it a drill. Walk off, next hole, got a par, pat yourself on the back, write it on the scorecard, get out of there. 220 drive, that's where it's going to land. And 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh, bit leaked on that one. But it's still within that frame of the blue bar. That's the key bit. The closer you are to the center line, obviously the better. But My timing, that counting helped me massively by getting into that blue bar because it speeds up so quickly at the end. So now if I pause that, right, so if I pause that just for a second, I've got 145 up. Now I've got 9 increase in elevation, which means that I've got 145 plus 4.5. So let's call it 150. That's the key number. The wind, that's a guesstimate. At the end of the day, I want to keep it left. I don't want to aim it at the flag because the wind in the top left is going to push me over to the right. So if I go more to the middle of the green, worst case scenario is I'm going to end up at the flag. Best case scenario, I'll end up exactly where I want to hit it. So, which is again at the flag. But I've 157 on my marker of my 6-iron, and I've got 150 to go. So I know that 157 at 10% of that is 15.7. 10% of 5% of that, so 50% of that is 7.5. So each line across the bottom is going to draw that at 15.7. That's each line. And then each halfway between those boxes is going to be half of that again. So that means that if I just equal it out and say that each 10% is worth 15, give a bit, each half of that is going to be 7.5. So that means I'm going to hit that about 150 because I've got 157 minus 7.5, 149.5, about 150. I've got to hit it 149.5. And it took me a long time to work out what those square boxes mean. I might be a bit thick and a bit stupid here, but it took me a while to actually realise that that's what it meant. So let's have a look at it. Let's see how it goes. It's looking good. Little bounce, little run on. She'll play. She'll play. And I couldn't have asked for a better putt, to be honest. I've got downhill 3, total 6. That's a 3-foot putt, or 3 energy putt, should I say. I'm going to go a little bit over that because I don't want to leave it short because that's criminal. And there we go. Keep it in pars, keep it in greens, you will get birdies. I hope you found that useful. I'm just going to run on to one other quick thing now, which is about another key thing about sponsorships. So if you're interested in increasing your money, but also increasing the benefits, i.e. more XP on clubs, more XP on shoes, I'm just going to show you a quick hack on this on how to do that. So first of all, we need to go and play a game. So I'm going to choose a play. You'll see there's free sponsorship available. This is a timely thing and it happens all the time. Now, one thing that I didn't realise for a start is that at the top of each one has got an I for information. And this will give you an idea about which one is going to benefit you in certain ways. So by clicking into each individual one, you can get different benefits and it increases different parts of your game. So from here, I'm going to choose the max now. Have a quick look at that one. Choose the max. And it's for about leveling up. I want to level up, let's be honest. Everyone wants to level up. You get more toys and more gifts, so why wouldn't you? But leveling up isn't about being how good you are, by the way. Leveling up is just playing the game more often. You can play the game every day and still be rubbish. But hopefully by listening to what I'm trying to talk about, you might actually improve a little bit as well. So I'm going to see what Odie does. I'm just going to fast forward Odie a little bit because he's on the green. Great, good lad. So again, let's look at the numbers. The numbers are really simple. So I've got 95 in total distance. I've got a drop of 25. So I need to halve that to 12.5, which means I've then got 83 yards is about right. Let's call it 83 to be sure. So 83 yards to play. Little bit of wind left to right. Try and put a backspin on the ball if you remember. And then I need to choose my club. So now I've got 97. That's the closest I'm going to get. And from here, I'm going to work my numbers out again. So I've got 83 to hit. Let's say that the 97 is 100 for how long it hits it, just for easiness sakes of adding and minusing. So let's say that full is 97. Let's say that 10% there taken off is going to be 90. I need to hit 87. So 83, sorry. So I need to hit a little bit more. Now the wind is coming into me a little bit. So let's just see if those numbers work out. And again, still count. One, oh, a bit more. Yeah, about there. One, that's it. 2, 3, 4, 6. Bit short, need a little bit more of a roll, but at the end of the day, I'm still at the green, I'm still in the game. He's a little bit further away from me. And he misses. Game on. What have we got? 14.8. Greens are slow. That's the key on this one. The greens are slow. Always look at the screen speed, top left. That looks pretty straight. It's a bit of movement, but I don't really see much. I'm going to go halfway into the middle of the green because that's where it says to hit it.
Drained it.
And we've just won. Not a lot of money, but we've won. Now, the key bit is the activation of the sponsorship at the start means that across the top left, when you get to your home screen, you will start to see that you've actually won games and you have 9 a week to win. I didn't know that the activation of the sponsorship needed to happen for this to count. So all that means there is across the top left-hand corner now, once we've got out of that, that this now will start to add up across the top where it says weekly bonus. I don't know why mine's not added up, but it should have because I've got the sponsorship. And then you win prizes and stuff like that as well. So that's it, that's the game. I hope that's been really useful to you. Don't forget, hit your short putts at the hole. Don't limp them in because that'll never work. Any elevation is divided or times by half, or divided by half and then added or minus on top, depending if you're going up or downhill. And also count to 6. It's been a massive benefit to me. It's made a real difference to my game. It's made a real difference to how often I hit that excellent mark. But more importantly, my bad shots are not that bad. And if anyone plays golf, you'll know that it's not how good your good shots are, it's how bad your bad shots are. So that's signing out from here. If you like what you've seen, give me a like or give me a subscribe, and let's see you on the golf course. Take care.